Today is Friday, Good Friday, and I hope you saw this morning's video. I'm giving away a copy of this book on Investing 101. It's an excellent book on how to get started and understand the terminology and just understand the workings of the stock market. If you have a young person who wants to get involved in the stock market, make sure you download that book. There's a link to it in the description of Good Friday's video. Being Good Friday, the market was closed, so I spent about 2 hours with the Wall Street Journal. Get it every day, but I don't have the time every day like I would like to, because I do follow the markets, to spend a lot of time on it. But if you've seen it, you know what the number one story is. It's the number one story not only in the Wall Street Journal, but everything else, and that's Musk offers to buy Twitter as company mole's poison pill. This is interesting. I think this Wall Street Journal had two very strong emphases in this Friday edition. The first one was Elon on the front, the richest man in the world, and then the back was what they call mansions. And I loved in the back page, the number one featured house is in Alpine, New Jersey for $9,995,000. Is there a contrast to what's going on in this world right there? So then the other thing I see is that a Russian warship is sunk in the Black Sea. And what does that mean? Well, that means maybe the invader is dealing with the same thing that most invaders do, whether you invade Vietnam or you invade Iraq or Afghanistan. Sooner or later, you're going to get your butt kicked because citizens don't allow you to take over their countries anymore like they used to. So, but I saw some things here in the newspaper that I think is going to answer the question that I did in the thumbnail. Inflation's at 8.65%, mortgage rates at 5%, bank earnings are down, some of them 46%. What's happening to the stock market? Are we going into a recession? And how should you and I, as an investor, react to it? I think that's the question that, if you're here on this YouTube channel, that's what you're wondering. That's what I'm wondering. And so that's what I'm doing my research on, and trying to position myself to take advantage of whatever is going to happen in the future, because I am an investor in the future. I am not, though, your financial advisor, and let's get that out of the way.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
I thought it was interesting, saw numerous articles on how the banks are profits are down. So that's the second page, or the second section in the business section. And it goes into elaborate detail how Morgan Stanley's profits are down 11% from prior year, and Citigroup's are down 46%. That has a lot to do with their exposure in Russia. But I remember just 3 weeks ago, as interest rates were being raised, that the pundits on CNBC and Bloomberg were telling me this was going to be a God-given gift to banks, and that banks were going to make more money as interest rates go up. Well, they indicated in here they aren't making that much money because, number one, all we have to do is think back to 2020 and 2021 and all the SPACs and all the IPOs that are occurring, and I don't think there's been an IPO yet this year. So the banks, that's where they make their big money, the fees that they charge. So they aren't aren't making money like they thought they would. So where does that tell us to go? And then we know that we all, whether we're interested in Bitcoin or not, we're interested in putting the archaic system of the banks out of business. So I wouldn't suggest you invest in banks. And then we have the information coming out about interest rates going up, and I thought that was very interesting. Mortgage rates are up to 5%, and I went and I looked and I did one of those mortgage calculators. If you had financed a $200,000 home about a year ago, you would have gotten a 3.5% interest rate. If you had financed that same home today, you'd gotten a 5.5% interest rate. That means your mortgage payment last year, you would have locked it in at $1,000 a month. This year, you'd lock it in at $1,300 a month. That's a 30% increase in the cost of that home. You multiply that $300 a month for 360 payments over 30 years, you're going to spend a ton of money just because inflation and interest rates have gone up. Who did that to you? Well, I think we ought to find out who's screwing me on the interest rates. Cost of houses going up. And then I remember, and I told you on March the 28th, I showed you a video how Wall Street is anticipating this, and they're coming and taking away the American dream of owning a home, and they're changing it to an American dream of renting a home. Here's the thumbnail on the March 28th video where I explained to you that in Nashville and in Atlanta, 90% of the homes in this price range last year were cash purchases, and that is being done by Wall Street investors. The biggest of which, and you'll find it in that video, is American Homes for Rent, Invitation Homes, and then on 60 Minutes they featured Tricon Residential, who are buying up individual homes as fast as they can. I shared with you in that March 28th video of the Wall Street company 3 miles down the street from me who has bought some 20 acres and is putting in somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 rental homes, not an apartment building, individual homes that they're going to rent. They aren't satisfied anymore with selling you the home and making a one-time profit. No, they want to rent you that home, and as inflation increases at, 8.6%, they can raise your rent every month. Wall Street is doing. Just watch my March 28th video. It's all laid out there for you, what is going to happen. I give you the companies you need to be investing in rather than the builders. Invest in American Homes for Rent, Invitation Homes, and Tricon Residential. It's all in that March 28th video. Then I find the next article I read, again, I had 2 hours, chip makers warn of extended shortage. And this is all about Taiwan semiconductor manufacturer. And you go down here to the, let's see, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4th paragraph. And they say they are having difficulty, Taiwan semiconductor manufacturers, difficulty getting the machines that make the chips for them. Well, wait a second. Didn't we talk about that in my video on March 27th? Yeah, we talked about the monopoly that ASML has. It's a Norwegian company, and they are the only company that makes the machines that make the semiconductors for Taiwan Semiconductor or Intel or Qualcomm or whomever else. They're the only company that they have a monopoly. And I told you about it. I even did a in-depth analysis of their stock for our Patreon Platinum members to tell you where to buy it. And we bought it. It came down to our number and we bought it. So thank you, Wall Street Journal, for telling us about that on April the 15th. I told you about it on March the 27th. So, and then on March the 26th, I told you about the opportunity. Here's the thumbnail from it, to buy into NVIDIA, because NVIDIA is being pushed down, but there's because of some profit projections based on their current sales, but their business is exploding. I explained that to you in the March 26th video. And then I go through this even further, and I come across this little article down on the bottom, New Funds for Alzheimer's Trial. And what it tells you about is a company by the name of Alzeon, Alzheon, Incorporated. It's a private company, and they're in what I've been beating the drum about for the last 18 months, and that is the healthcare revolution. Through the use of AI, I did a private video on that as well. On a company's ticker symbol is DNA. Its company's name is it's the start of my name, Grinkmeyer, but without the R. Ginkgo is a leader in the field of artificial intelligence to helping pharmaceutical companies find the drugs of the future. And I covered it, as I say, on a private video, and we've already, I think, gotten something in the neighborhood of a 15% bump on it. So these are the kind of things that I search for in the Wall Street Journal. I hope you get the Wall Street Journal. If you don't, go down into the description. Down near the bottom of all that rigmarole, there's a link to get you a discount on the Wall Street Journal. But nonetheless, where do you go in the stock market? Well, I think it's very, very evident that as a result of interest rates, mortgage rates, bank earnings, the market's going to go down now. But all that is an opportunity. Whether it's the dot-com bubble, the opportunity was there. I mean, hell, Amazon went from $75 a share to $1.75 a share. It was a gift from the gods. I did a video on that too. I don't see the date on that. The gift from the gods, the Wall Street gods, that you very seldom get an opportunity to run in and buy big, good companies on the cheap. I did a video just the other day on why aren't you buying Google and Amazon right now? Hell, they're going to split. And I just saw an interview with the CEO, the new CEO of Amazon, and they asked him, "Why did you split your stock?" "To make it more available to our employees." And as far as incentives, and they want their employees to be owners of the company. This is a trend to offset the trend of unionization, which is another unintended consequence of the pandemic. This all wraps together. But what I want you to do is go to one of my videos where I show you my trading views chart of the past. Well, I actually started it in 1944, the day I was born, September the 5th. So it's the last 77 and a half years of this stock market. We've been through all this before. We've been through wars. We've been through recessions. But look at that chart, and you tell me, which direction has it gone since my date of birth? Up, down, or sideways? It's not that difficult, folks. All right, educate yourself. Start if you're 19 years old, 18 years old, go find my video on why you need to open up a Roth IRA. And then once you get focused on that, go to the video from today and order your copy of Investing 101, everything you need to know as a new investor. So do that and have a happy Easter, a happy Passover, and a happy Ramadan, and whatever else there is. I'm going to go on an Easter egg hunt in a couple of days, so I'll be talking to you again soon.